Another figure in the Prince George's corruption scandal is sentenced today. Good evening. This is CTV News for this Friday, November 16th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, another defendant in the Prince George's pay-to-play scandal involving former county officials, police officers, and real estate investors is in court today. Developer Patrick Ricker has deep local roots. His family has been a fixture in county business and politics for generations. Rochelle Metzger is in Greenbelt with more.
Today, a federal judge sentenced real estate developer Patrick Ricker to 12 months and 1 day in federal prison with 2-year supervised release and $250,000 in restitution for his role in the same widespread corruption scheme that led to the arrest of former county executive Jack Johnson. Now, Ricker pleaded guilty to extortion, tax evasion, and conspiracy charges. He admits to partnering with the former county fire official and another developer to offer bribes to public officials in exchange for favorable acts that would benefit a development project that they had planned in Greenbelt. In addition, making hundreds of thousands of dollars in illegal contributions to political campaigns. Prosecutors say Ricker is the linchpin in their investigation and a phenomenal cooperator who helped seal their case. The defense says the investor played a role in the county's rebirth as a community of excellence. Judge Massetti noted that this is a sad day, revisiting yet again a sad chapter in Prince George's County history. Now, he says he gives Ricker credit for working with the government for 4 years, wearing wiretaps, recordings, tapings, bringing in other witnesses to help in their investigation. Unprecedented cooperation, he says, helping the government build their case against Jack Johnson and everyone else involved in this widespread corruption scheme. But he said he cannot ignore the long list of transgressions, the tax evasion, deceit, fraud, bribery, and he wants to send a message to anyone else thinking of coming into the county and pulling off these types of crimes that this will no longer be tolerated. Ricker will report back to court on January 4th, 2013 to begin serving his prison sentence. In Greenbelt, I'm Rochelle Metzger, CTV News.
A co-conspirator and prominent local developer Daniel Colton also pleaded guilty to similar charges. He is yet to be sentenced. Well, it took a jury about 3 hours to find Alexis Simpson not guilty of stabbing her roommate to death. The verdict has shocked some on the Bowie State University's campus and in the community. And today, people continue to talk about the outcome. Denise Douglas has more on what they're saying.
On Bowie State University's campus, reaction is mixed to the not guilty verdict in the Alexis Simpson case.
I believe she just did it out of self-defense. I don't believe that she actually meant to kill the girl. It's a sad situation.
I just thought that, at some point she still should have been held accountable for her actions. Whether it was self-defense or not, she killed someone.
20-year-old Simpson claims she stabbed her roommate, Dominique Frazier, in self-defense. The incident rocked the campus community just before homecoming last year and still haunts some students today.
I definitely, I'm going to think about what I do before I do it because you never know. You might not have another opportunity.
Not only do some students say they think differently before reacting, but the university has put a number of changes in place to prevent a similar tragedy from happening again.
So over the past year, we've really been working with our students to drive home the message that you don't have to resort to violence to resolve disputes, and that there's a process for getting assistance from the university staff, especially particularly in the residence halls. We have RAs and RDs that are there and available to help students.
They've just been telling everyone, violence is not the answer, or if you have any problems with someone, make sure you talk to a person.
Also, Danielle Tolson says students have set up a peace park as part of an effort to bring healing to the campus. Now she and others are hoping the verdict will help continue to move that process forward.
Taking someone's life is very serious, but I think eventually it'll come back. It'll come back to where everybody's happy.
Denise Douglas, CTV News.
And Simpson could have spent the rest of her life in prison if she had been convicted of the first-degree murder charge. Well, a Lanham family is displaced tonight after a fire spreads through their home. Officials say the incident happened about 9:30 this morning in the 4700 block of Margie Court. Residential sprinklers activated moments before firefighters arrived. No one was injured. Damages are estimated at up to $50,000. Fire officials want residents to be aware of the dangers of carbon monoxide exposure. This after one person died and several people fell ill at the same house over a course of several days. The incidents happened in the 1100 block of Wentworth Drive in Oxon Hill. It wasn't until two people got sick at the same time with similar symptoms that officials suspected CO poisoning.
Carbon monoxide detectors activate when they read 30 parts per million in the atmosphere. Anything over 30 parts per million is considered extremely unhealthy based on the amount of time you're exposed to it.
Well, given that this particular neighborhood was exposed, they had an entire family that passed away back in April with this same type of incident. Is there something that you're doing to really reach out to this neighborhood? Is it, possibility of faulty furnaces there?
Well, after that unfortunate incident in April, firefighters went door to door throughout that community offering to install smoke alarms or carbon monoxide detectors if they needed them. And we also went in and inspected the furnace areas and pointed out to the residents, what could go wrong. After this incident on Thursday, firefighters found that a flue pipe or an exhaust pipe from the furnace had become disconnected, which was allowing a free flow of carbon monoxide into the home. And that's one of the things we pointed out to the residents back in April, that they need to keep a watchful eye on because that's what occurred at the home in April, is that it was a disconnected exhaust pipe.
And carbon monoxide poisoning occurs only when there is gas heat or appliances. Remember to never use gas generators or burn charcoal inside of a home, and always keep chimneys clear of animal nests, leaves, and residue to ensure proper venting. You can get a free smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector by calling 301-864-SAFE. Well, you may have noticed that Prince George's election results are still unofficial. That's because thousands of ballots are still being counted. The county's Board of Elections is still canvassing more than 20,000 absentee ballots, in addition to hundreds of provisional votes cast last week. The board's deputy administrator says canvassers are on site up to 12 hours a day to count what's left.
It is a lot of ballots, I'm sure. As you saw in the room, they're very busy trying to canvass all of the ballots to make sure everyone who was eligible did vote will count. So it's just a process that we have to go through. It's a lot of ballots. We have a lot of provisional ballots as well. So we need to get through those as well.
And Prince George's Board of Elections plans to certify the results on Monday. And you are watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone.